Good morning, good morning. The whistle has blown and you are in the E-Shack this morning. Welcome to Junkanoo 242. Hope you all got them top on the shack because guess what? The showers of blessings are here. Good morning to the Family Islands. Good morning, everybody tuned in on ZNest, Facebook. Hope you guys are doing well. Arlene, good morning.
Good morning. How's it going? It's the Saturday after the day before.
Oh, man, Arlene, all I try and do is make sure the top set right because I don't want to wake up and then something get wet and then I got to start pacing all over again.
Well, at least you got time to do that, Bella.
Chairman, that's you?
Morning. You talking about top with all this flood going on. I hope you had crazy time to put the cost of what?
Boy, I ain't think but that one.
Ah,
If it
Listen
started
here,
flooding,
half of this island must be was underwater. But anyhow, we can talk about that in a minute. Boy, it was rough.
you know, we got a
So,
hurricane.
my
it was
God.
rough. It was rough.
Or
And so they,
as we like to say, hurricane.
the hurricane, absolutely.
Hurricane.
Just pronounce it right. And so let us begin with our prayer. Heavenly Father, for the gift of life, we give you thanks. For our nation, we pray for peace, progress, prosperity, and principle, recovery, and restoration. And for ourselves, we pray for wisdom to use your gifts wisely, especially the gift of Junkanoo, so that we may honor you, serve your people, build better communities, a better Bahamas, and a better world. Amen.
Amen. Proud to be Bahamian. What y'all got this morning, guys?
Well, I think I better save mine because my proud to be Bahamian is what we are discussing this morning. Our topic, we are looking back at the People's Rush and the honoring ceremony that led up to it. So I'm going to hold mine because my comments will weave right into the narrative for today.
I don't know how you could hold those comments, and that is the trending topic in the Bahamas, culturally, anywhere else. The expression of culture, the heartbeat of the people that took place on Bay Street last Monday was just ecstatic. And to see the people in the streets, it was truly something to be proud to be Bahamian.
Look like Boxing Day, boss.
Boy, it man, it was serious. It was serious out there. And it was everybody was so jovial and just happy to hear those drums, to hear those bells, to see the whistles being blown. And expression of Junkanoo was
They
there,
see
buddy.
the whistles being blown or they hear them.
Well, they hear them too.
I want you get victim this morning now.
They
You
heard
we
sound
them.
like
all
you still, you
we
sound like
still
you still in
recovering,
bed.
man. You gotta give him a pass. We
No,
still recovering.
I ain't giving him no pass. He don't give me no pass, so I ain't giving him no pass. No. One demerit.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was one proud to be.
it was a great moment. We all thinking alike. And ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly what we are recapping this morning. We are looking at People's Rush. We are looking back at Independence 49. Of course, we are looking forward to Independence 50 and what we would like to see and how we would like to expand for that big special anniversary. And of course, as you are aware by now, the Junkanoo Development Association honored 5 outstanding Junkanoos prior to the rush. And one of them is in the E-Shack with us this morning. And so we are going to run to our first break. And when we return, we will introduce you to our very special guest. We will hear his take on the whole thing, and then we will all chime in. We'll be right back.
you hear on this radio station is governed by IRCA's Code of Practice for Content Regulation. The Code of Practice covers matters relating to program content that are of concern to the community, such as local content, news, current affairs, and programs for children, advertising, including political advertisements, and the responsibilities associated with broadcasting in the Bahamas. The code also covers aspects such as access services for the hearing and visually impaired, and the procedure for lodging a complaint about anything broadcast by this station. The code is available on the IRCA website at www.ircabahamas.vs. To receive a copy of the code by mail or in person, you may telephone IRCA at 242-393-0234. Family Island dialing is toll-free at 1-242-300-8722. Or you may send a request by email to info@ircabahamas.bs.
You see what's going down, babe? Them jokers running free. You need to go report what you see.
Me? For them to clip me next?
I ain't saying going to the police directly.
Wait, what you talking about then?
Call Crime Stoppers Bahamas. You can tell them directly what's going down.
Wait, Crime Stoppers is the police, you know?
No, my boy. When you call Crime Stoppers, they just answer your call in Miami or Toronto, Canada. So no one can know it's you. And you don't have to give them no personal information because they just give you a pin.
Wait, what you talking about though?
They got their own system down there to get the information where it need to go. I just saying, if you ain't got nothing to lose, you might as well get these jokers off the street.
True, and so Crime Stoppers is the one that's give you plenty money for that hot news, eh?
Yeah, and if you help the police with the arrest, from pin, you get some marlins. So I just saying, win-win, my boy.
So what the number is though? Free up the number.
Do the right thing. Stop the crime before it's your time.
Bing.
Call Crime Stoppers Bahamas today at 328-8477 or from the Family Island, 242-300-8477. It's safe, and the life you save may be your own.
This public service announcement was brought to you by Crime Stoppers in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
From the Junkanoo archives on the Junkanoo timeline, the year was 1952. On the Junkanoo parade, there were two organized groups. One of them, Maureen Devalier, and Johnny Kemp's group was named the Mexicans and was the first group to be in uniform costume and included women dancers, another significant notch on the Junkanoo timeline. You're still muted, Arlene. There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. The whistle blow. We are lined up. We are ready for this segment of our show. This is the rollover. And this morning, we are talking about Independence 49. We're looking forward to Independence 50. We are celebrating the persons who were honored on Monday morning. So we have a packed show for you, and we are delighted that you are in the E-Shack with us. And this morning, we are doubly honored to welcome one of the honorees from Monday morning. There were 5. We are pleased to have, who will get the ball rolling, Mr. Gary Super Johnson. Super, good morning.
Good morning, Eileen. Good morning, Ishak. Good morning, Bahamas. My love, it's nice to be with you good folks.
Man, look here, Sting is in the house. Sting.
You know, Sting is ready. I heard Darren talking about the top, but you know what happened is, we ain't started yet, so you'll be all right. Think of how to go to mission. You know we going, you know? We know we going, right? But they ain't sure when they going with.
A couple of years ago, we had BH on, and I made the mistake of asking, when do you all have practices? And he said, practice on the way to bed.
But
I thought that was so cute.
yeah, we are progressing a little this time. We are starting practice on the 19th of November.
No.
And we run until every Monday until 22nd, I think, of December. So the Monday before Christmas. So we having some practice this time, you know. Most of the guys need to practice at hand, at movement. So we're gonna start on the 19th.
Scared. That's
hand
too
movement.
We getting scared.
Hand movement from the cooler to your mouth.
Up and down, up and down.
Practice on like a big drink up.
The other thing BH said that caused us to squawk. BH say every group tells you haven't practiced, bring your musical instruments. He say when you come to sting practice, bring your knife and fork.
we had a guy I invited to practice, man. He bought his cowbells, and I didn't see him. So the next day I saw him. I said, "What happened, man? You didn't come to practice?" He said, "Man, I was there, man. All I was doing was eating and drinking." I said, "Man, you missed a big practice." But that's what this thing is all about, man. Fun, you know.
Yeah, yes. And we are going to talk about that and the role of scrap groups in Junkanoo. But Super, before we get there, tell us a little bit about Gary Super Johnson. Tell us about you.
Well, I started Junkanoo in the 70s when the Music Makers Voice came out with Sammy Thompson. I think they had just broken up Pepsi Cola, and Sammy decided to bring his own group. And,
were you living in that area, or he was a personal friend? How did you get affiliated with the Music Makers?
Well, me and Sammy Thompson played basketball together for General Electric Shockers. And we played basketball together. And he came into the gym one night and just said, he wants some, if anybody want to rush. And I never rushed at that time. Only thing I knew about Junkanoo was I used to go down to Bay Street with Chippy because I lived in Hospital Lane. And we went with Chippy every year. We just, get on, your mama wake you up and Chippy knock off the drums. And you walk up Bay Street with Chippy, and then you walk back home with Chippy. Yeah. And then when Sammy came, I just say, I just thought it was something that I would have liked to try. He recruited us. We went into the Music Makers that year. I knew nothing but pacing, nothing. And he introduced me to Fo and a couple of guys who cut my paper and so forth. But I always pasted my own costume, even though I've never pasted before. I always pasted my own costume. And it was so exciting when you go on the first time, man. I figure I here now to stay. And the first 3 Christmases, it was exciting. Then after that, it went downhill, but I continued until in the 90s before I left, and then I went to Sting.
Yeah. You were on the bell line in front of Silbert.
Yeah, I was on the bell line with Silbert. I was on the bell line with Silbert, and it was back then, man. Junkanoo was really Junkanoo. When you go to Bay Street, you perform, you get your craft, you try to make your craft better. And rushing with Sammy Doors, rushing with Lord Frog, when you hear those guys come down the line with those drums, man, I mean, your heart be pounding. And it's exciting, it's exciting, man. It was exciting at that time. You didn't rush away with no money and all that other stuff. You just go there, and just rush for fun.
The Music Makers, their music used to literally cause you to get goosebumps and cause your hair to stand on edge. That was some serious music that they were putting down in the 70s when they became the first group to win the 3 straight Boxing Day grounds.
Yeah, but I remember, John Bull used to have their windows open. And I remember when the Music Makers passed the first time, John Bull glasses started to rattle, man. From then they started putting shadows on their glass. And you're serious. That's how they started buttoning up their glass.
So we ain't talking. This ain't Junkanoo law now. This Junkanoo facts.
Yeah, this facts, man. And another time he came out third when he came out with Chick Shanny. I'm sure you remember that.
Oh, Chick Shanny. Oh yes. Oh
so
yes.
That year, Knowles here left the Wally Boys and he came out with Santa Claus. I was telling someone this today. Knowles came out with Santa Claus that year. And it rained that morning. And Knowles, they got wet. And all of their costumes were running and all that. And the Chick Shanny, it rained and Chick Shanny didn't get wet. They couldn't believe me.
Wow.
Nobody believed that it rained and the chick Shanny did not get bed that morning.
So
But
how
all
you
the other
all
group.
pull that piece of magic?
We used to stay when they had point, they said, "You old beer." But it was exciting.
And Obia was one of your themes as well. Yes.
We came out. One thing I liked with Sammy was he always came out with a Bahamian theme. Even at he always had a Bahamian theme.
He got
always. That was important. I think you got into liking, to get into liking that, and you got into learning things about the Bahamas that you didn't know before. Just through Junkanoo.
Yes, and Ronald Sims, please jump right in. You are absolutely right. John Bull is now where the Nassau shop was.
Exactly.
You're talking about the old Nassau shop, right?
The old Nassau shop, right.
Yes.
That was the spot back then. That was the spot. That's where everybody hung out back then, man.
Yeah,
Ronald, listen here. Rawson Square didn't have nothing on the Nassau shop. That's where all the young people got together to see who was with whom.
Remember now, Rawson Square didn't exist until when?
Until after Independence Day, even later than that.
Later than that,
even later than that.
Yeah,
later than that.
Prince George.
Yes, Prince George. Because that photograph in my Junkanoo book of people on Bay Street waiting for the results, one family was already a group, so it had to be after 93. Yeah.
It was after 96, as a matter of fact, because I started, the Makers brought the first brass in about 75.
Right.
After that, we were turning through Parliament Street.
That's right.
Internet, man.
That's right. Ronald, I was on Parliament Street corner.
Square came late.
Yeah. I was on Parliament Street corner when the music makers came up Bay Street and turned that corner. I will never forget that music right up to now. That was goosebumps. That was some serious music they were putting down there. They lived up to their name.
That's what caused the Valley Send for me. That's all right.
Ronald, hold on now. You ain't gonna get away with that from the beginning. Give us the whole story.
Eddie Ford used to be chasing me to rush for years. I say, Eddie, I ain't interested in no rushing, man. I ain't got time. But I was leading the Soulful Blues at the time.
Yeah.
And I was purely into stage. But after the Makers come with that brass that morning, boy, him and Gus tell him come here now. Tell him come now. And that was it. That was me. I said, I can give you one. I can give you one parade to get you off my back.
So the Valley Boys bring in the reinforcements. Such was the power of the music makers, Bala.
One of the most significant movements in the history of Junkanoo when the Makers brought that brass section.
Yes. And we want to say good morning to Winston Churchill Roll, because as I understand the story, the introduction of the brass had a lot to do with his Elks affiliation and the Elks band, and there was a police band affiliation in there as well, I'm understanding. And it really did change the face of Junkanoo.
It was the some guys from the Elks and some guys from the RA, the Royal Ambassadors band.
Gotcha. You know, not to change the subject for a moment, but if you ever see how many young people were blowing brass instruments on Monday morning, man, listen here. That I am sure that many of these young people are motivated to go into these marching bands and their church bands, because it can now translate into Junkanoo. These brass sections have become huge.
Yeah, it's the largest section in Junkanoo now, and it's still growing. You got hundreds of guys in a brass section now. I mean, almost too big.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, as we were talking about earlier this week, you know, you got to be careful how we are so critical of Junkanoo. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Some people just really want to criticize and don't see what they're really
looking at.
You know what I mean? Could you imagine if those hundreds of young men and women weren't doing that? What would they be doing? So
exactly.
we're so quick to be critical and don't understand what it is.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And I echo your sentiments. You know, see what you're looking at. You're not looking at young men and young women fighting in the road. You are looking at young men and young women celebrating their culture and performing. If they happen to play the wrong tune, please come in there and advise. And let's get the kind of support for them that to encourage them. Like you say, Chairman, we got to see what we're looking at. We can't keep downing these young people, and we are not trying in any way to assist.
Yeah, I mean, and I can say it as I feel it, right? Because sometimes, you know, you see some of the comments, Junkanoo this, Junkanoo that, Junkanoo the next thing, Junkanoo the next thing. And the remarks in some quarters are just always so disparaging.
Negative,
becomes discouraging. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And instead of trying to bridge the gap between what we want it to be and where it is now, we sort of pull the horse back. And that is the right way. And in my opinion, that's not the right way to go about it.
Yes, and it has gone a lot further than that, you know, because a lot of those young men now, those very same young men are using that avenue as a tool to educate themselves. And we're getting scholarships from all kinds of colleges across the U.S. coming here recruiting those same guys.
Say it again, Ronald. I didn't hear it. Say it again, Chris. Louder this time.
I say, as a result of their involvement in that Junkanoo and through their musical ability, they are now being able to educate themselves. College music programs are coming here every year, several times a year, recruiting those same young men and giving them scholarships to further their education and lift their standards in life, man.
Thank you very much. I think we heard you loud and clear that time.
And it's happening across the Junkanoo spectrum. I want to say a special good morning to Chris and Yonel Justilian, because they have been pushing that for years, and they have been very successful in getting so many young people off on scholarships because of music. And so we are grateful. We have to see what we're looking at. No two ways about it. Darren Farrington always says that Junkanoo is the largest youth movement in the country. And once we frame it in that context, then we start to understand what we need to do and the role we need to play to make it even more advantageous for our young people.
But let me show you how powerful it is and how powerful it has become. Many of those young men are now music educators in schools throughout this country.
Wow.
And not only in this country, several of them are in schools, high schools, and colleges throughout the United States of America. Those same young men that we talked bad about didn't know how to behave themselves, losing a mountain, nothing. Those same making positive contributions here and abroad.
You know what? They had an option. They could have picked up that brass instrument or pick up a knife. You decide what you want to do.
Amen. Amen. Make music or make trouble. And they made the right decision, and we support them. And we will continue to do everything that we can do to promote them and their efforts to better themselves. It's always better to have them playing music and dancing in the street than fighting one another in the street. I just thought it was phenomenal to see every once in a while I get a moment at a Junkanoo parade where I step back to see what I'm looking at. And it is truly phenomenal to see so many young people in the street peacefully dancing and playing music. And we are ordinary people. We are just ordinary people who you pass on the street. And hidden beneath that surface is all these gifts and all this talent. And those of us who are in the trenches will continue to support and encourage them. I could remember one time, I think I may have said this before, I'm on Paradise Island doing a presentation. It's a breakfast, and my drummer couldn't come. Luckily, I had brought the drum with me, and the client I said to her, I'm sorry, but our drummer has been unavoidably detained. He won't be here. I was supposed to do the presentation, then the drum come in. And she said, oh my goodness, I want everybody to hear the Junkanoo. And I said, ma'am, it is statistically impossible for 10 Bahamians in the same space and there not be one drummer. And I said to the maitre d', I said, so where's the kitchen? He said, right through those doors there. And I went and right in the door and I said, good morning, gentlemen, who's the drummer in here? And one hand went up, I say, let's go. And we tear them down. We tear them to, and so it's a natural gifting that we have, and let's encourage our young people to manifest that.
I disagree with one thing you said, Ali.
We're
not ordinary people. We're extraordinary people doing an ordinary thing to us.
I stand corrected. Thank you so much. I agree with you. Absolutely. Incredible. So
on the music factor, we did music for over 20 years. So our next step now is Ben Darren, when you all see us come to Bay Street with 20-piece brass, I don't want you all to cry.
Take your time. Take your time.
That's the same thing they said when you bring on the first song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Darren, we're in the process right now. We're in the process, and that's the next stage for Sting. To produce our marching band, which will entail jazz, Junkanoo, rake and script, Junkanoo. So we understand that nowadays you need something else other than working 9 to 5. And to keep these kids off the street, we need to get them something to do and something they would like. So when we come to Bay Street, it mightn't be this year, Darren. Take my word, it'll be next year for sure. We come in a 20-piece.
I would tell you this too. So say what you want about Sting. I think Sting is showing many of us the way to expand this thing called Junkanoo. And I think the genius of Sting has yet to be told. And I can leave it like that for right now.
Yeah. Well, we are going to dive right into that deep, because that is the main reason I think why Super was honored in terms of the groundbreaking work that Sting has done in the area of original music. We ain't gonna slide over that. That's a big one. But we only have about a minute or two before we go to break. So while we cranking up for that, Gary, tell us a little bit about how you got interested in music.
I was interested in music. In fact, when I was around 18, I had a friend who had a record store, and I used to go up there. I used to go up there and help him, sell the records and so forth, and record. Back then it was 8 tracks, so I used to help him record 8 tracks and so forth. Then people started coming in and saying, "You need a DJ." We ain't know what no DJ is, so we park up a little bit, go play some music, and that was like in the 80s. So I've been in the music all that time.
Super.
Yes.
Please, you got to tell people what a record store is, man. Ain't nobody knows you're talking about no record store,
Record store is where you go to buy records, man. Where you go to buy
what is a record?
You gotta know what a record is. Oh man, Sims. I dealing with some young people, man.
That's why I'm letting you know.
Yeah, this was my good friend was Charles Beneby. He was the brother of the former Prime Minister's wife. And they had a store in Washington. He had a store on Washington Street. And, I used to go there like every day and help him out, help him out in the store, so I got to learn the music, got to be able to make it the cassette, the 8 tracks and all that other stuff. And I was in the music from then, and playing music as a DJ. And then taking my talents then to Sting, Sting, big time Junkanoo group. I mean, as far as band is concerned. And we went to Bay Street, man, and we had no music. We had one
So
drum.
hold on. Stick a pin. You men never go into the gory details. Stick a pin. So now, okay, you rushing with the music makers would cause the move to Sting.
Well, I got
As
to
opposed to say go into another competitive, formal Junkanoo group. Tell us about your thinking.
Well, what happened with me with the music makers was as I got into more music, I had less time to face my costume. And at that time, when you go around the shack, I don't have a problem with, the guys, I'll pay a guy to paste my costume. But I'm not going to pay him to paste my costume. And every time I go to the shack, he's going to be buying something to eat too. So that bothered me. So what I did, and because I didn't have the time to paste my costume, it sort of put me at a disadvantage. So the last time I really rushed with the makers was when they had old time Junkanoo. So they told me all I have to do was paste for newspaper pants and shit, which took an hour or two. So I was good. And they pasted twice as hard to me. But I just wasn't, my time didn't allow me to put into my costume. And I think I that's why I praise the guys nowadays, man, who I look at their costumes and I see the time they put in. I know the time, but it didn't allow me. So so I stepped out. I stepped away from it. And then that's when I stepped away for about a year. And then, all our BH and us, we used to hang out, not BH, but boys used to hang out. And we saw BH one day downtown with nobody. So, and me liking Junkanoo, we got together and just went with BH to see if we just going to have some fun. And after doing that for about 6-7 years, I started to bring other people's music with me on Bay Street with my system. So I used to play other Bahamian music, other Junkanoo. And then one year,
you always had your music system in the banner.
Yeah, after the first 1 or 2 years of BH, I started bringing my system. I always had a system in the banner, but we never had our original songs. I went over that other Bahamian music. We mix it. I mixed Junkanoo music, and for about 6-7 years, that's what we did. And then I just say we needed to do our own thing. We needed to get our own music, And that time I was affiliated. I knew KB, so I went and I spoke with KB, and he thought it was a joke, And then the first year he came out, and after that, but you know what happened after that? It's history. But the main thing is that we didn't stop. We didn't give up on it. We didn't give up on it because it was tough some years, man. And then I think what really kept me going was every time it comes around Christmas, you see your friends say, what y'all coming out with this year? What the song is this year. And if you don't have no song in your mind, you have to go there and get a song. And so for all those years, we just continue to turn over songs, And the KB was with us the first 10 years. And after that, we had transitioned into Dyson. And then we transition into DMAC now. So this year is going to make 22 years for consistency with music every year. Plus, we had won 3 Kasika Awards.
Wow. What was the first song, Super?
STING, somebody put the thing on Sting. You know that one?
Yeah.
Everybody liked that one. Everybody said that was the best one.
Yeah.
And then
listen here. Best ones, some of them I ain't too sure. I thought the Totus was classic.
That's classic. That's classic.
Yeah.
You have to thank Sammy Hasty was the writer on all our songs. And I think what Sammy did too was he wrote about things that he saw. The Totus came out, the Totus, you go to a party, people already told you stuff. He just write about that. Especially when I'm a civil servant, you got BC.
I like that one too.
Want to know one man the hole and everybody that stand around the hole, but it's only one man the hole, only one man waking, So these are things that are true. These are two things.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we are running to our second break. And when we return, we will continue this fascinating conversation with Gary Super Johnson, who has been a part of creative and original music on Bay Street for the last 20 years and who was honored for it on Monday past. And of course, we want to continue to talk to Gary, and we also want to talk to you. And you may want to congratulate Gary. And so if you would like to call us when we return in New Providence, 325-5404. And in our family of islands, 1-242-300-8255. We'll be right back.
Respect the sign. When vehicles without an accessible parking permit use a parking space designated for persons with disabilities, even for just a minute, that's 60 seconds too long. The abuse of accessible parking spaces is a daily frustration for persons with disabilities. It is inconsiderate, insensitive, and hinders persons with disabilities from effectively conducting business and actively participating in community life. Never park in a space reserved for people with disabilities unless you have a permit to do so. It is the right and respectful thing to do. This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, a unit in the Ministry of Social Services and Community Development. For more information, visit www.disabilitiescommissionbahamas.org.
So you saw Larry take the money off the teacher's desk?
Yes, Mom.
And you told the teacher?
No, Mom.
Why not?
Because Larry wouldn't want to be my friend no more.
Honey, Larry did something wrong and you need to tell an adult. You may feel bad, but it is important that you do the right thing. Nobody has to find out that you told.
Okay.
Small crimes lead to big crimes. If you see a crime, you can call Crime Stoppers. It's safe and easy, and nobody knows who you are. You'll speak directly to someone in Miami or Toronto, Canada. They never ask anything about you. So be brave and do the right thing. We all need to help. Stop the crime before it's our time.
Guess what, Mommy? I feel good because I told somebody about Larry and the teacher get her money back. So pick up the phone. No one will never call you a snitch.
Call Crime Stoppers Bahamas today at 328-8477 or from the Family Island, 242-300-8477. It's safe, and the life you save may be your own.
This public service announcement was brought to you by Crime Stoppers in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Did you, from the Junkanoo Library, filed under S for spiritual. Did you know that in traditional West African religious culture, there's no separation between the sacred and the secular? Everything was sacred, life in general. Their rituals and ceremonies were therefore spiritual in nature. And when they recreated them in the Bahamas, it in what today is known as Junkanoo, the same is applied. Our Junkanoo, deeply powerful and so spiritual. We are so proud of it.
Welcome back to Junkanoo 242, the whistle blowing. We're all lined up, and now it's time for the first lap. Folks, we are pleased to have as our special guest, Gary Super Johnson of the Mighty Sting. The guy say he been around from they used to record 8 tracks. Bet y'all ain't know what that is, buddy. A recipient of the JDA's Junkanoo Development Association Independence Junkanoo Achievement Award. And we're looking at, the people's rush to look back, but also some of the things that he's accomplished, in his Junkanoo career. I mean, you talk about you guys coming up with the idea of creating original music. Was it just your love for music that you started to gravitate in that area, or was it, something else?
Well, it was my love for music, and because I was affiliated with music at that time, it wasn't many DJs doing things. And like I said, also the Sting was a group, but we didn't have that band presence. And in order for us to get to Bay Street and the sound going to be a little attractive, we needed to have some kind of sound. So I was just the person to take that sound, put it in the banner, and develop a little bit of jungle so that we were able to attract some people. I mean, it was sometimes we went on Bay Street, we didn't have no drum. So you know what that meant? That meant, so the sound really did it. Year after year after year, people just got to get accustomed to it, and they come looking just for us that particular morning, just to come and rush. So we always, so that, that made me feel that. And then I said, since we attracting the people like this, it's best for us to have our own sound. our own song so we can sing about Sting Junkanoo. And that would be an attraction because when we come down to Rosston Square, everybody know the song and the people in the stands singing, you know, and then it gives you a better flavor.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful that you guys, you know, it's amazing that you guys, that you even thought to actually do something like that. To say, you know, we need our own sound, because a lot of people would say, well, we small, you know, we is a little fun group. You know, other people try actually look at the fun groups and don't realize they having all the fun. You keep on talking about, you know, the music and the banner, but you ain't mentioning the cooler what is being the banner. Because you can't have no banner gang and no cooler when you rush it with Sting.
Oh yeah, but you know, and then what made it so funny was like all the big groups, 1 or 2 years in the big groups like the Wiley and the Saxons and all that, they were glad to be in the back of us. They were glad to be lined up in the back of us because they know they would get their refreshments before they start. And so, you know, and it became a tradition, guys. Every Boxing Day morning, fellas will come looking for you because they know you have that sauce. You know what I mean? And so they would come looking for you. So it became fun, more fun for us and a pleasure. And then you got to know, you know, a lot of guys in other groups, you know, just by that one thing we did. And then going even to the gate. Even when we go to the gate, we are held up by the judges. I tell every judge, yeah, I'm serious. We are held up by the judges. And the judges would we are held up by the judges, and judges get their sauce. So we know, you know, it's not a problem for us. So we come prepared. You know,
one thing I can say, decisions just come out like that. Come like that.
You know, and Darren, I can tell you, in 22 or in 20 odd years, we never run out of beverages.
What? Never
run out of beverages. I always have a 6-pack, a special 6-pack of 40 ounce in my bag just in case.
And that's a record they prouder of than been in a Junkanoo parade.
Yeah. You know, we're not interested in winning, man. We're interested in having fun and making sure that everybody else have fun. You know, and that's the main thing. And this year we're going to try to expand it. For the last couple of years, we've been bringing in tourists was coming in and rushing with us. We're probably the only Junkanoo group that you can come on Bay Street with and jump in the line and have fun all the way. So this year we're going to try to expand it as a part of our group to try and attract the tourists to come in and to go down Bay Street and to have that feeling, you know, to get that cultural spirit, you know. So that's one of the things that we are doing this week. We're going to try to do this year and to try to enhance that in the future years.
I just want to stick on the music topic just a little bit more. And you talk about the impact about you guys going down and just having fun. But one of the things you guys have been doing for 22 years is creating original Bahamian music, something that other organizations in the Junkanoo field should probably take a look at. And my question to you is, do you feel as though other Junkanoo groups need to go in that direction in terms of creating that original sound and that, you know, that original Bahamian music?
I think so, and one of the reasons why I think so is because just give you an example of Trinidad, right? They have about at least 1,000 songs every carnival. My thing is, in order for us to expand our music library, we need our music, you know. And if every group could bring out their own song and we can have a competition, that means we're gonna have X amount of new songs every year, moving forward. You know, every year we've been moving forward. And the ministry tried it 1 year. And it didn't work. And then the thing about it, the whole last song back waiting for the ministry. And then the ministry said, you know, because they didn't get sufficient entries, they canceled the thing. I don't care if they cancel it, only one song come in, pay me. That means they win. Yeah, you see, so I think we need to put more emphasis on that, or we should put more emphasis on that. And that's the only way we can get creation of songs. We have a lot of, like you said, we have a lot of young people coming up now who have something to contribute. You know, let's give everybody a chance to be in the pool. Just like how you have the best costume, man, you can have the best song for that particular year. But in that year, you probably got that 30 songs. That's 29 songs more than you would have.
Yeah. So let's map that out. Let's help them out. Let's brainstorm. Let's offer a template for the powers, the JCNP or Ministry of some whoever it is. Let's think that through and offer a template for how to do that. Now let's think out loud. Let's say, for the sake of argument, now first of all, we don't want, I'm coming backwards now from the parade, coming backwards into the year, okay? Coming forward into the year. We don't want people to hear the original song for the first time on Bay Street, because we want people, I'm thinking out loud, we want people to know it, to be able to sing it, to recognize it, to go crazy when they hear the first couple bars lick up. So how do we do this? Do we tell the Junkanoo groups to start to create the music in the summer? This is where people like Super, like you and Ronald, who know about music, how do we structure that? Do we start the process in the summer and work our way towards Christmas? How do we do it?
I mean, you could always have a deadline on the song. In other words, you could say the deadline for the song entry is, say, September. Yeah. And that's for the judging of the song. However you want to judge it, but you want people to listen to it and judge it or what.
That's an event. That's a big event.
Right.
That's down to the fish fry.
Right. After that, the song could be released. So each group would have a chance for their song to be played. Yes. See? And then one of the most important things is for the group to go down Bay Street and play their own song, man. Stop playing other people's songs. Go down Bay Street and play your own song. And that would be creatively, especially with the big groups, all the brass and all that. That would be something different. You play your own song, man. You will feel better. When we go down Bay Street, we don't care what happens, you know. We don't care who like us. We playing our own song, man. We have fun with our own stuff, you know. However we manipulate it or we do it, you know. The template is saying you have a deadline, you release a song, you go to Bay Street, play your own song. At least play it once.
Now, I hate to say this, but it is true that we have become so oriented in Junkanoo. Do we need to a cash prize? You made the analogy with the best costume, the best banner, the best this, the best that. Do we need to incorporate this into the prize structure of the JCNP so that you know that this is and this could be very prestigious, because we could get people to sponsor this, that, you know, this prize may be, if we serious, this prize could be worth more in monetary value than some of the other prizes.
Yes, it is viable for you to have a prizes first, second, and third for people to have more interest. And if I can tell you right now, we get $2,000 a year for our seed money. Our song to produce costs more than that. So you can imagine what we have to go through in order to try and keep our song going, you know, and to keep that aspect of it going. So the incentive is always good to have incentive. You're going to get more people want to get involved in it than usual. So if you have an incentive and, you know, I can go at the end and win first prize and get X amount of money, second prize, get X amount of money, third prize, win X amount of money. I'm going to give it my all and try to make it the best, do the best I can for it. And then when you go to Bay Street, man, you have your own things to relate to, especially the music. And then you're going to probably have somebody in your group who would produce the music. You know, it's like Ronald Simpson, who would produce the horns, you know, the brass section, all this stuff. So now you have people in the group who's doing this stuff, you know, and this creates another entity. Not just I go into Bay Street to blow my horn, you know what I mean? I go in to blow my horn. I go into Bay Street now. I'm part of this production, you know, which is a different entity from just going to blow Junkanoo music.
It's something that's been talked about for a number of years now, but no action has ever been taken on it. And, you know, Super mentioned the cost. The cost of production of music is expensive. So it has to come with prize funding, at least to be able to pay for the cost of the production.
To compensate,
it's not cheap to create music.
No. No, and I just believe that this perhaps could be the vehicle that jump starts, for want of a better word, no disrespect to anybody, that jump starts a focus on Bahamian music. Because I do believe that our producers and our songwriters and entertainers need some kind of encouragement and incentive. And right now, we are not seeing that. We are seeing, we have just copped out to play foreign music, and we're not encouraging our own creatives to manifest the gifts that they have. And so I just believe that Junkanoo could be the vehicle to get this original music thing just rolling, man.
I think it's incumbent on the JCNP now to just create the category and determine where it go from there. They're in charge of the parades.
Yes.
Darren, those could pretty much create any new category they want, provided the groups sit and agree on it. It's relatively easy to do. You just have to find the funding for it.
Mm-hmm.
Understood.
Go ahead.
No, that's it.
It might be a little late to do it for this upcoming parade now because of the time factor. And so it's probably something, I think it'll be a great thing to have it as a part of the 50th anniversary celebration of Bahamian independence.
There you go. Start to plan towards. Yes. There you go. There you go. And you know, when it comes to music that is played on Bay Street, I have always felt that Junkanoo, that Bahamian music is the default. You know what I mean? If you have a theme that does not lend itself to music that can be played on Bay Street, the default is Bahamian music. And especially, Ronald, as you say, we're heading to 50. You know, that gives us an automatic theme. I am not going to call any names. I'm matching no
point. See, Aline, the thing about the thing about the Junkanoo music, right? The thing about the music is you have a theme from January, right? You have a theme from January that you come out with, nobody going to Bay Street with this January. The music follows the theme. So when you come on Bay Street with the music going to determine what your theme is, what you have in the theme, all other stuff in the theme. The music going to pick that. You see what I'm saying? So you ain't it ain't no difference. Difference. Whoever Junkanoo group coming over, whatever you coming out with, the music gonna depict what you come with, or how you come in. What should name of your costume? What you know, whatever it is, the music will depict that from the writing.
Gotcha. Well, you know, when we turned 40, I think it was, as a nation. When we turned 40, you know, there were themes on Bay Street. I think some come from China, some come from over here, some come from over there. One family was determined to have a Bahamian theme in the 40th anniversary, but other groups apparently that went right over their heads. And so I say that to say that, you know, we want the music to be Bahamian, and hopefully the theme will be as well, but I still believe you don't necessarily have to get my drift. You don't necessarily have to be limited by your theme. And so, you know, we'll hope for the best, but I think hopefully we have struck a chord here that will get people thinking about what can be, because truly I have a genuine concern about what in my mind is becoming the demise of Bahamian music. And I say that with a pain in my chest. And so I think we need some drastic measures to get Bahamian music back to its place of prominence, where I think we would all enjoy having it.
I don't know if you can remember when they came out one year with the road and frig up. Remember when the road was dig up all about?
Yeah.
They came up with the song, the road and frig up. Them they get in Rawson Square, everybody was mad at us. But that was one of the better costumes we could get, because I could have walked outside my house and pick up something and carry the Bay Street that would depict the costume. Yeah. I'm serious. We could have walked outside the house You could go there, all the road them take up, you get all that the orange cover. You just take off piece and throw it on the banner. I'm saying, you know, there's just local things that we can do, but it ain't always got to be so drastic.
There was a preschool that had that theme. That's same year. There was a preschool, and all children, you know, the cones would be in the road when there's a detour. That was their hats, and they were the cutest little things.
But we didn't lie. That was happening at the time. That was happening. The road them freak up.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these things that we're talking about are fairly easy to implement, provided they are presented to the JCNP, who is ultimately responsible for the parades, and let them kick it around because they make the decisions as to what happens for the parade. So if you want to implement it, I think you need to engage the JCNP in this kind of thinking.
I agree. See where it goes. I agree. And you know, when as a good friend of mine used to say, when in trouble, delegate. And so if music is not your thing and you busy planning the whole parade, just get a committee together who have this particular expertise and let them present the proposal and map it out and just take it right off your plate. And at the end of the day, you still look good because it's still under your umbrella. That would be my advice.
Yeah, I agree to a certain extent, and I disagree that it falls on the JCMP shoulders. The JDA got together and they did some stuff, and they started awarding people, not on anybody's accord, because it was something they wanted to do with a group of friends, and Junkanoo was wanted to award their peers. My point is that we have a people's love and unity rush, no competition. Why? Because the objective is a sense of pride. It's a sense of, here's what we do in Junkanoo during this time. I don't think our creation of music has to lend so much in the competition end, or there has to be an incentive. Sting started doing it with no incentive. We have arrangers, we have writers, we have all of these things in brass groups, and all they're doing is writing and recomposing or rearranging other people's songs. And so I think it has to stand from within themselves. They need to come up with, hey, you know, guys, we've been rushing 10, 15 years. We need to make a staple. We need to say, you know what? We can start creating our own music regardless of who's paying it and who's paying us for it. Because, I mean, if everything is going to be led by competition, if everything is going to do that, then we're going to see a demise in a lot of stuff. And that's what I think is happening right now. We're looking for outward validation and outward prizes to come from some people to award us for some things that we should be doing ourselves.
That's fine on the one hand, but if you're talking about impacting the national competition, you can't do it unless you go through the people who are responsible for the competition. You can create the music, of course, but there's no saying that it's going to be accepted as a part of the competition. So you have to go through the body.
No, I understand. That's why I said I agree with you to a certain extent, Ronald. You know, because we've had this discussion when it comes to music, and we've seen what's happening in Bahamian music, you know, similarly, or the lack of it, creation of Bahamian music. That's why I say I agree with you to a certain extent.
We've also seen the ideal is for us to be self-motivated from within, but we have also seen right in our own Junkanoo to chat, when we talk about competition, we've seen the comment that if they scratch the competition, there'd be no Junkanoo. That comment staggered me. I saw that printed. And that's what, for many people, Junkanoo is competition, but that's another story for another time. We will get back to that. Ladies and gentlemen, we are running to our next break. Please don't go anywhere. Gary Super Johnson, the power behind 22 Sting original songs. Oh my, he's paving the way for the future. We'll be right back.
Everyone around. Evenings will never be the same again.
A show for young people, made by young people. The Youth Perspective, where we seek to positively display the youth of our nation. This and every Saturday at 8 p.m. on 1540 AM. Power 104.5 FM, the national voice of the Bahamas.
It's for men, about men, by men. It's informative. It's inspiring. It's here on AM 1540, Power 104.5 FM. With yours truly, Sean Innes, Sundays at 5 p.m. Tune in.
The Ministry of Social Services and Urban Development, in conjunction with the National Emergency Agency, presents the 2022 official hurricane shelters for the islands of the Bahamas. Long Island, Assemblies of God, Salt Pond, Community Center, Clarence Town, Highway Church of God, Doctors Creek, Holy Cross Anglican Church, Hamilton's, Holy Family Anglican Church, Mortimer's, Salem Baptist Church, Millers, St. John's Anglican Church, Buckley's, Seymour's Gospel Chapel, Seymour's.
Examples of excellence. In 2003, the Junkanoo Development Association produced the Independence Junkanoo Achievement Award. The first honorees were former Junkanoo group leaders John Chipman and Walton Sachs Taylor, cowbell inventor Don Zayla, surviving members of the Citizens Masquerade Committee Alfred Fountain and the Reverend Prince Hepburn, and the matriarch of women in modern-day Junkanoo, Maureen Duvalier. This distinguished group was followed each year by outstanding Junkanoos whose contribution to Junkanoo has guided and shaped the course of modern-day Junkanoo, and that fine tradition continued right up to Monday. We salute the more than 100 Bahamians who have received Independence Junkanoo Achievement Award. They are this week's inductees into the Junkanoo 242 Shack of Excellence.
Welcome back. You're tuning into Junkanoo 242. Man, we got Gary Super Johnson. This man used to hang out in a record shop. You all know what that is? So Mike, I gotta give you these accolades because this generation don't know what a record shop or what 8-tracks is. I trying to figure out what machine you used to use to record 8-tracks on.
I have an 8-track here, man. If you want to come by one, you know anything with 45?
No. At least I got a couple records here. You know, I got a couple
45s.
Yeah, man.
45? All right.
Yeah, I got a couple of records here, but my brother.
All right. Now, what you know about 45? You had to put the little pin in the middle, right?
Yes, the little center.
All right, the shade or not, but no 45.
It was called the centerpiece.
You think he know about LP?
Centerpiece.
Y'all really need
know
to stop
about
it.
33 long play. Just reach here yesterday.
I don't really want to change the course of the conversation, but I can't let this show go by without saying it. I didn't say it in the proud to be Bahamian. But Ronald, I really need to give you and Fred and whoever was responsible for Independence production a big round of applause. You know, I was there. I got an opportunity to see it. I was extremely proud. Job well done, guys.
Thank you. I will pass it on to my colleague.
You made me feel. You made me feel good to be a Bahamian.
How you get on my feel anyway?
Like my daddy used to say, dog business ain't cat own.
So Ronald, back it on the Facebook. Facebook page, Radio Bahamas. Where can people see it who may not have seen it?
I think it's on ZNS Facebook page.
It's also on YouTube. They uploaded it to YouTube, and they also uploaded the Sidney Poitier tribute that they did on YouTube also. So they can search for both of them.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Beautiful.
Well done, brother. Well done.
It was relatively the same team that did the Sidney Poitier tribute a couple of weeks prior, except this time we had Erin Knowles, who came on board as our director because Phil Burrows had to travel, and she did an excellent job. Yeah.
Well done. Well done. We have so many gifted Bahamians, and when we put them to good use, everybody is proud of the results. So thank you for all that you do, Ronald Sims.
You almost caught me on Rush with the volley after that one, but I had to take twice.
you see the level we just go to, hey. I understand your feeling, my friend.
I was thinking about it, and Super now has a jacket. PH now have a jacket. That's like almost 50% of Sting that have jackets.
You need to stop.
When you wait, between their membership and how much jackets it is per group, they probably have the most jackets per capita or per group membership.
All you gotta do is turn out 22 original songs, and we'll have one for you too.
My gosh. It is commendable though. It is commendable.
Yeah.
I don't want you guys. I don't want you guys to feel embarrassed to come rush with the Sting now. I don't want you all to feel embarrassed.
I don't forget now. I going down with you all with one or two mornings,
Yeah, but I know you had fun.
Yeah, of course.
I've gone with them as far as the banner, and then I turned back.
Yeah, it's and truly, Gary, you have had the experience of what I call the formal parading, the competition, and Sting. How important do you think that how important do you think that the fun in Junkanoo, the spontaneity, the creativity, the wild abandon that you all exhibit outside of formal best this and formal best that, how important do you think that is to Junkanoo, period, looking forward?
But see, for us, I think what we do is, one of the things we do is, we don't tell you what to come with. We don't tell you what the costume to wear. Our song is the theme. Our song is the theme. So whenever our song come out, they say what we wear, and we just send you, this is the song. You to pick what you want to come as. So what that does is, see, everybody have some creative juices in them, right? So man, and I think sometime on Bay Street, I'd be surprised to see what these people come up with to come on Bay Street to rush in our group, and just detecting things from the song. So we give people all that latitude to go and create. And then they all come into one big pot, and we just go and have fun. Now, for 20 years, the Wally Boys and the Stocks and the one family be great Junkanoo groups, but we're the #1 Junkanoo group for fun. We have more experience in having fun on Bay than anybody else, and we know how to have fun. And because of that, we just let everybody go wild. You just go create yourself. The song is the totems. You come to Bay Street, whatever you feel like coming with, just come with it. And I think
dress up in foil. I remember.
Yeah, I also believe that you have to, even though the groups might be, everybody is, you have to wear just a pattern, just what we going by. I just believe that you have to give people their own creativeness, man, and let them do, some things they have to do. And that's why our group is so successful, I think. We just tell you, come as you are.
Yes.
Just put on some, but come.
Yes, nice. And so now, go ahead.
I think that Sting has captured the essence of the spirit of Junkanoo.
Exactly.
In that it is a celebration, it is a fun time. I think many of us who are in the formal competitions Can't wait to get out of those competitions and go join Sting or a similar movement as Sting, because we work too hard now as competitors. We don't have fun anymore.
Yes.
Don't. It is work to go to Bay Street now.
Yes.
You need a truck to take your costume to Bay Street now.
Yeah.
It's just too much work.
Yeah.
You need to get ready to go to Bay Street. It's work. There's no more fun in it for many of us.
Squeezing all the fun out.
And I think Sting is the answer.
And I would
totally agree.
I would like to invite all y'all now to Sting Alley. Invite you now from the Sting Alley. Christmas, even last, on the side of the straw market clove.
Yes. Yes.
That's our street. That's called Sting Alley, Boxing Day. And we are open up from 10 o'clock until 8 in the morning. And that's where we come from, We come from there, and then they're ready for us. We just go straight to Bay Street.
Where's this, Gary?
Right next to the
on the side of the straw
market.
Oh Lord, Bastian could go missing.
That little narrow street right there.
Exactly. We come from Bay Street. That's where we come from. That's where we line up.
All right, then. All right.
That's where the party is, and that's where we have all our people come there and assemble.
I'll see all the Boxing Day morning, God smell like that.
But I think that is a beautiful concept, because you sell the package online.
And
whether visitors are in a hotel or on a cruise ship, it's easy access, and they're lounging and laying off and drinking and partying, and then a marshal and a parade official runs down there and say, hey, we got a space in the road, we need y'all. And y'all jump up
and go.
And y'all ready to go. And then you all, just as lawless as you could be, you turn down East Street, around the Market Wharf, and you come back up to Sting Alley, and you're ready for the next lap.
Yeah, just in case they're ready for us again, they're ready to go, but you keep it going. And it's exciting, and then we're gonna have the big Junkanoo would be on the screen. So even though you're in Sting Alley, you can still watch Junkanoo on Bay Street. You don't have to be there.
Man, we need more groups need to copy that. That is a wonderful concept. Wonderful concept.
That's my question for Super. There was a time when we had a number of groups similar to Sting. They seem to have fallen off. You had Sting, you had the Pigs, you had some other groups who came to Bay Street purely to enjoy themselves. Why has that fallen off so much that pretty much now it's just Sting remaining?
Yeah, they have a couple of groups, but Sims, it goes back to people are not serious for Junkanoo. Be serious for Junkanoo, man. Be serious but having fun. That's why. Being just coming because we're going to rush. Be serious with our craft. Be serious with our music. And be serious with going out there and having fun. And we don't care what they say. We can bring our music. We can have our fun, and we can have a good time. That's my mindset. The other groups, they fall off because somebody didn't want to do this, or the next person, no, they only want to rush. They're not serious but Junkanoo, man. Be serious but Junkanoo. And our next steps could show you how serious we are when we create our marching band. I can show you how serious we are moving forward.
I mean, and in that vein, you're definitely going right into just more community service as well, and the development of youth. Because if you're talking about a marching band, then you're talking more about preparing the next generation for what comes next.
Yeah, but that's what we plan to do, Darren. I already have 3 recruits. We have recruits. I have 3 of my grandchildren, and they're already playing band in the band. They 7 and 9, and they playing.
Mm-hmm.
See, so
and Ronald,
Ronald bring his grandchildren. Yeah, we want to. I want to enhance these kids, because just like Ronald say, Ronald was in charge of the band, right? These kids can be. If you can't get a job, you can play in a band. You could do this. It's so many things you can do for music. You go to get a scholarship. You can go away to school. You can come back and take over Sting. You know what I mean? But these are some of the things that we want to do, and give everybody opportunity to excel, man, and show their talents.
And Ronald as we run to our final break, just my answer to your question would simply be that I think a part of the reason why the fun groups have begun to I don't want to say die out because we just ain't having it, but you don't see as many anymore because I've heard complaint about how structured the parade is. There have been mornings when you can't go on till 6 o'clock. You can't do this, you can't do that. And the room is not there for them to have a good time and be a part of the parade. That's what I've heard. And so that is something to consider as well. The parade is not structured for fun groups. That's how it seems to me. So
well, I don't I don't think I mean for us we consider the first 6 groups. We know we're not going on before the first 6 groups. So we figure when we get to Bay Street, we ain't going on Bay Street before 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. We know that. We ain't considering going on before unless they have a problem. Right? So we go to Bay Street with that intention to going on Bay Street around 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, because we know that's when all the big groups will probably be going or closer. They might just have a little space and we go there. That's our intentions. But if you go in there to decide and get on 12 at 1 o'clock, that's not going to happen.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's not going to happen. That's
Yes.
just the way the parade is structured.
This may not be what we want to hear, but is it that the fun groups or quote unquote the decrease in numbers in fun groups are giving us a sign of what is happening in Junkanoo? Where even if the fun groups are the groups that are less structured, but have a lot more quote unquote fun, and if their numbers are declining, is this what we should look? Is this a foretaste of what is to come with some of the major groups, the more serious groups?
I think that's a good question, Dan. That's something you have to study, you have to look at.
Yeah,
because
we got to research that.
On the back of all of this, we keep saying that after a certain generation, we don't know what it is that we're gonna have. More and more of a lot of our younger people don't care for Junkanoo, don't understand what it is, and really ain't interested in participating.
Yeah, that's a whole discussion for another time. Yeah,
we got to run to our last break, folks. You're tuning in to Junkanoo 242. We got Gary Super Johnson in the house. Bastian asking hard questions as usual. We'll be right back on the next side of the break.
Ministry of Social Services and Urban Development, in conjunction with the National Emergency Agency, presents the 2022 official hurricane shelters for the islands of the Bahamas.
Exuma, Bethel Union Baptist Church, Ramsey, Calvary Mission Baptist Church, Rollville, Ebenezer Union Baptist Church, Farmers Hill, Ebenezer Union Baptist Church, Barry Tarry, Exuma Resource Center, Hoopers Bay, Gethsemane Baptist Church, Black Point, Mount Hermon Union Baptist Church, Mount Thompson, Mount Sinai Union Baptist Church, Stuart Manor, Palestine Union Baptist Church, The Forest, St. Andrew's Community Center, Georgetown, St. Luke's Baptist Church and/or Airport Terminal, Black Point, St. Margaret's Anglican Church, Hearts, Stevenson, St. Mary's Magdalene Anglican Church, Williamstown, St. Matthew's Union Baptist Church, The Ferry, St. Teresa's Catholic Church, Georgetown.
And now for news off the shock wall. Happy belated birthday and retirement greetings to Sir Stafford Star Turnquest. coming from his family, friends, Ministry of Works, and one family spray team, and also Orville Kochi Turnquest from family and friends. And happy birthday greetings to all celebrating in the upcoming week, especially Honoree Teran Bappy Davis, Father Carlton Turner, Andra Gardner, and Michelle Dames. To you and to everyone else who's celebrating their birthdays in the upcoming week, we wish you a happy and a blessed new year. Condolences to the family of all who are grieving loved ones at this time. Our thoughts and prayers are with you. The Junkanoo Development Association extends a heartfelt thanks to all who in any way contributed to the success of the 2022 People's Love and Unity Rush, especially the Royal Bahamas Police Force, the Speaker and staff of the House of Assembly, participating Junkanoo groups, and all proud Bahamians who participated in the event. The countdown. It is Saturday, July 16, 2022. We are 23 hopeful weeks away from Bay.
The hope is looking a little strong. The hope is looking a little stronger now. We got our munition now. We ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are in the closing moments of Junkanoo 242. We have been having a wonderful conversation with Gary Super Johnson, one of the Independence Junkanoo Achievement Award honorees from Monday morning. There he was in Rawson Square getting and Minister Matthew Bowleg was putting his jacket on him, and we are very grateful also that the minister was there and he stayed. Minister, it meant a whole lot. Thank you so much. And so, Gary, we have not talked about morning at all. Give us your perspective on it. What did it mean to you? How did you feel? Big deal or no really big deal? Tell us about it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big deal for me because when I got the call from Shelburne, man, you know, it was like, I say, you sure it's me? You know, you got the right number. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, you don't expect things like that. You're not looking for anything. We do Junkanoo because we love it. And then when you get the call, you say, man, you really appreciate it, you know? And then when you know that I am not affiliated with the big groups. So, and then they look at us and say, yeah, man, you have done something to contribute to Junkanoo. So it makes you feel real proud, man. I really felt good on there on Bay Street. I sorry I wasn't able to rush, but I had a good time, you know, and to hear the groups roll over and hear the groups, you know, perform again and to see the excitement and the people and the kids and the groups, man. I thought that was great. I know Darren came to Bay Street. To pick up to see what's happening. You know, everybody would come to Bay Street to see what's happening. One family to Wiley, Sachs, you know, so that's a sort of trend to say, well, we need to do this or we need to do this to get ready. But I had a great time, and I'm really appreciative for the association for honoring me, man. You know, honoring me and for you all having me here this morning.
Yes, you are absolutely welcome. Now, fellas, between us fellas, all of us, have you ever seen that many people on Bay Street, perhaps other than the two major parades? Tell me the truth now. Half of Nassau was out there.
And some of the family islands.
I could not believe the amount of people who were out there. And I think, you know, the police really deserve special commendation because it's their responsibility to keep us safe. But they agreed with the JDA that if it is the people's rush, the people should have an opportunity to get in the road and either dance in front of a group or behind the group. Don't interrupt the girls, don't interrupt the back line, the music. But it had a free-flowing feel to it. And I thought it went extremely well.
I did as well. And the energy was really, really high. And I think people really missed Junkanoo. And the results are there to show that.
Yeah. That was amazing. There were visitors who stayed to listen to the whole honoring ceremony. There were visitors who jumped in the line behind Junkanoo groups and danced their way down Bay Street. It was truly a special moment. Anybody who calls themselves a big time Junkanoo who wasn't out there, we ain't checking for you. Because boy, I tell you, that
Well, I
was
wasn't
something.
out there, and I was a big time Junkanoo. I wasn't out there, but I was 10 tired.
You sleeping?
He's trying to recover.
Child, we needed you on Clifford Park. But it was really special, and we thank God for the thousands of people that were out there. Of course, there were one or two minor incidents, I would say, which should never have happened. But when you look at percentage-wise, I think the people of the Bahamas did extremely well. I think there were two isolated incidents that happened more toward the end of the morning. And so we are extremely grateful to everyone who came out to show their true colors. And it was just an aquamarine black and gold morning. And I had the time of my life. It was great.
Yeah,
I heard some talk about the amount of crowd and the fact that there were no barricades and some disruption as a result of no barricades. What's the true position on that?
I have no idea. I guess when we have our meeting on Monday, we will get any reports. But up to 6 o'clock in the morning, we had gotten a report from the police that there had been no incidents, and that happened later. Now, I did understand that there might have been some issues at the gate. We will hear from the parade marshals in terms of groups lining up and the crowd pressing in. And so we are going to have to find the best of both worlds and figure out how we are going to do it. Keep it participatory, but also allow people to do their thing without interruption.
Here's the way I see it, based on my observation. It's a people's rush, right? Barricades have never been a part of the people's rush. Whether you have an incident or not, a barricade is not going to stop that incident from happening. I'm sorry.
Absolutely right.
In my opinion, I think the biggest challenge of the morning may have been, people are excited. They want to see their group line up in the street and that kind of thing. But to me, that's a very minor issue, right? That's what it is.
Yeah.
Right? So the people who may have had to work the hardest that morning may have been the sideline marshals who really were trying to keep people back a bit. But generally, in my opinion, people were well behaved, and that's it. And whether in those two incidents that we heard or that we know of, a barricade would not have changed that. No way, no chance.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right.
And put barricades up at that parade, now you're changing the entire flavor and energy of that parade.
When you have that kind of a large crowd, crowd control is an issue that you'd want to be concerned about.
Yeah, but Ronald, you had maybe the same amount of people or more on Clifford Park. It ain't about crowd control only. It's about us being well behaved.
Yeah, that's true. And the other thing we could think about for 50, remember when that rush first started? Remember, it started from the eastern and it came right down to, I think we went to Arawaki. And so we might also want to think about extending the route, because I've heard people say y'all only rushing from East Street to George Street. And so that's something to look at as well.
But here's a stupid idea. Maybe for 50, the parade should start directly after the tattoo on Clifford Park and end on Bay Street.
Go the other way.
We did something similar to that 25. Yeah, 25, when the parade was actually on Clifford Park.
Yeah, start at Clifford Park and end in Roston Square.
That wasn't the same parade. We were never on Clifford Park. I think they had a Junkanoo performance as a part of the Clifford Park celebration.
To close the show, yes.
As a part of the show. Right. So yeah, we have some options, and as we start to look toward 50, we start the planning now. We don't wait until 50 is right upon us. We start the planning now, but they have some excellent ideas, and I do trust that members of the committee are listening. And so, Mr. Super Johnson, our time is just about gone, and we are delighted that you were here this morning, and we are going to leave the last word to you, your closing words that you want to leave with the nation.
Yes, I just thank the committee for having me, and thank you all for having me in the ESHAC. I just would like for everybody, man, to participate in Junkanoo. It's a cultural experience that you don't get by watching it. You need to be in a group, participating in that music. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I think that's when the thrill comes about you. And no matter how tired you are, man, when you hear that music, man, is another story.
Let's go.
So I just wish everybody the best, man. All y'all major groups who don't have much times. I know how I feel. I'm coming to sting, but don't worry about it. We'll accept all y'all.
Anyway, that's up my 6-pack ready when I come boxing.
Oh man, Darren, no problem, man. But I appreciate it, man, and thank you all. And looking forward to this year's Junkanoo, man.
Yes.
Thank you so much, fellas. Closing words. We ready to roll?
I definitely had a good time on Independence Day. Arlene, thank you for coming in the road. I believe it was spectacular.
Lord, Darren Bastian, you got me all over the Guardian. You got me dancing everybody. I mean, you was something else, but I had the time of my life. That music was really sweet.
Indeed,
Thank you for having me in.
Indeed. And the celebrations continue to 50 Bahamas.
That's right.
Keep it going.
Absolutely. TF, any closing words? You're good to go. All right.
Man.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, we thank you so much for being in the ESHAC with us this morning. We look forward to next week. And remember, in the meantime, until we see you again, this is Junkanoo 242. It is all about you, wherever you are in the 242. And until next week, make sure now, let everything you do prove beyond the shadow of a doubt that we are all proud to be Bahamian. We'll see you next week.